Time for a look at your West Tennessee forecast with meteorologist Ryan Davis.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome in. We're about to get Monday out of here all together. Monday night, right here in the 10 o'clock hour. So I wanted to go out a little further. We've been looking at the precipitation outlook. This is days 8 to 14. You can see we were looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook earlier tonight. And even in the monthly outlook, it still reflects above average precipitation over the next 4 weeks. But one place that I'm noticing a difference here as I look a little further out and we look at this together, in the temperature outlook, it shifts things a little bit cooler as we go on out further in about 2 weeks here. You can see we start to become more on the edge of that warmer than average in between that and the cooler than average to the north and west. So it does indicate that in about 2 weeks, we'll start to see a breaking down of some of these warmer than average temperatures. In the meantime, though, this is holding very true as to where we're seeing some very warm temperatures in the next several days. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. Another big occurrence happening tonight, and I've got some good news with this too. A lot of people were worried, is it going to be too cloudy? Is it going to be raining? Well, we'll take a look at that here in a moment, but we're talking about the blood moon. Only happens ever so often. This is going to be the lunar eclipse. This is where the Earth is going to be casting a shadow on the moon. And also, as you know, when we have sunsets and sunrises, the sky gets that orange and kind of red look to it. Well, that same occurrence happens too as the sun's light, which is normally white, is refracted through the edges of our atmosphere and focused more onto the moon. So that's why you get this red appearance. Now, why is, or what time is going to be the best time? Well, the lunar eclipse will begin to start to take place at about 2:44 in the morning. It's going to be at its maximum at 5:33. So if you're somebody that leaves early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, you'll have a good shot at seeing the maximum eclipse as it's taking place there around 5:33. And then, of course, it'll end a little bit later, but this is going to be going on for about 3 hours and 44 minutes. And we'll take a look here one more time. So that's going to be ending at about 6:25. So even some of the later goers might be able to see some of this as well. But yeah, I've covered about, I think, 4 or 5 of these in my career here, and it's always neat. You can look out there and it will have that red appearance to it. Well, let's come back to Earth for a moment. Let's take a look at the live weather conditions here in Jackson. 55 degrees. We got just a light breeze out of the northwest, about 5 miles per hour. Temperatures for a early March night, not too bad. We're at 48 right now in Union City. We got 48 in Paris, 52 in Trenton. We got 52 here in Dyersburg, 55 in Somerville, and still holding up there in the upper 50s here in Selmer and Savannah, coming in at 57 degrees. Now, winds have predominantly shifted more in the last couple of hours to being a little more out of the north and east. We've got a little layer of low pressure to the south of us, getting that counterclockwise flow around that. And so we're on kind of the north side, so that's kind of pulling those winds in for a short duration here out of the northeast, but not enough to really provide a big cool down or anything. And in fact, we're going to be warming right back up again tomorrow to the upper 70s. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bigger picture. The frontal boundary that's been kind of stalled out over us, it's going to start to lift back northward as we head into tomorrow and much of the day on Wednesday. And what that's going to do is allow the rain to stay north of us for a couple of days, but it will be returning as all of that is going to slowly drift back in our direction as we head towards Thursday. And there could be some big rain with that. But again, on the latter part of the weekend, it's looking very rainy as well. Let's take a look at the radar. All the rain has pretty much moved off to the east of us right now in Middle Tennessee. You can see we're looking dry at this time. Things kind of drying out there right now. So it's going to be a pretty good morning to take a look at that lunar eclipse, but also a very important factor. And I'm going to step over here to the radar control here for just a moment. Let's take a look at the cloud cover. So let's go to the infrared because we cannot see the visible cloud cover when we're at night. So we'll take a good look at this too as we're joining you right now live. So we got a few patchy clouds out here. We can see the the radiation emitted off of those clouds, and that gives us, it's interpreted to more of a picture view that we can see. And we can see right now we don't have much in the way of at least the thick clouds going on out there. We've still got some lower level clouds that may not be detected, but overall you can see a lot of the clouds are breaking up. Yes, we'll have some clouds out here to the west, but all of this activity will primarily stay along and north of us as we go into the morning and even tomorrow. Occasionally some of those clouds kind of break loose and they kind of come through the West Tennessee area, giving us really just kind of a mix of clouds and sunshine as we head into tomorrow. But it's going to be a pretty decent day for us. All right, well, there's a good look at that. So looks mainly like it's going to be just partly cloudy as we go into those times there. At the maximum eclipse, yes, you'll be able to see the moon, but you may have a cloud or two come over in the process of seeing it there. Severe weather outlook. Now it's cranking up as we look further to the west. Nothing for tomorrow, but as we head towards Wednesday, notice we start to see a indication of some severe weather, a marginal threat out here over Arkansas and Missouri. And you go back further into northwest Arkansas, you can see we got on the edge there of a slight risk, or 2 out of 5. And this is where it's going to be active over the next several days. I don't think we're going to contend with severe weather come Thursday, as even into Thursday's outlook, the severe weather looks to be well and off to the northwest where it will be most active there. All right, so let's take a look at that. This area here is where it's going to be the most active Thursday into Friday. It's going to crank up here across portions of Oklahoma and North Texas, and then kind of stretch northward, including northern parts of Missouri, southern portions of Iowa as we head into Friday. But what eventually is going to happen, this ridge is going to kind of break down, and as we head towards Sunday of the weekend, we're going to start to contend with some rain and storms. Now, it's way too early right now to tell if we'll have some severe weather. What I do know is it's looking like we definitely could have some short-term flood threats coming up as we head towards the second half of the weekend. So let's go ahead now and we'll take a look at Futurecast. It is showing the rain out of here heading into the evening, and then as we move along towards tomorrow, looking nice and dry, the rain to the north and west of us. But on Thursday, notice Thursday morning, here it comes early in the morning Thursday, especially the first half of Thursday looks to be the wettest, with just some scattered hit or miss stuff, later in the day Thursday. Friday looks mostly dry, but look at Sunday starting out the same way, early on Sunday morning, Monday on into the first part of Tuesday. So this is going to be about a 2.5 day stretch of rain that we'll deal with. So again, we'll look at that again, the rain leaving the area tonight. And then we go into tomorrow, the rain will be just up here to the north of us near St. Louis. Then as we head into late Wednesday night, mainly early Thursday morning, here comes the brunt of that rain, and it'll be with us, right along the bus stop and through at least the late morning to early afternoon hours. Then we're mostly dry Friday, but here comes late Saturday night, mainly Sunday, we deal with more of that rain, and it looks to be one wave after another. Which again, you start seeing things like that show up in the long-range trends. That could mean that we could deal with some flooding. This could be a lot of rain coming in for the second half of the weekend. The good news, it still looks like that most of Friday and Saturday will be mostly dry. It's going to be the second half we're going to deal with. For tonight, though, heading through the night, we'll see mostly cloudy skies to start, but we'll continue to see those clouds breaking up heading into the early morning hours, and it'll be just a partly sunny sky as we head off to work and school tomorrow. Again, that first cup, the upper 50s to about 60 by the time we get to the 8 o'clock hour. So again, a little bit cool at the bus stop. We'll have a little bit of a light breeze, a northeasterly breeze. You might want a jacket, but look at how warm it's going to be come afternoon. I mean, just below the 80-degree mark. So we're kind of in that pattern. We were talking about this a couple of days ago where you get the cool morning still, but you're getting these warm afternoons lately. 77 for tomorrow's high, 60. That'll be a mild overnight time. 60 degrees for Tuesday night. Wednesday, we climb to 80 degrees. Perhaps we're talking about a 20% shot, mainly late in the day, of a isolated shower. Mostly will be dry, though. Then we go into Thursday, starting early morning hours, about 2 a.m. onward. Here comes the rain, some thunder at times. It's going to be especially a rainy first half of the day on Thursday, not so much the second half, as we'll be trying to dry out about that time. 61, we go all the way to 82 on Friday. So the concern here on Friday, most of you will not get rain, but it'll be more like the summertime. We could see an isolated pop-up storm that could grow over a localized area, and there's about a 20% chance of one of those big storms developing in a very localized area. Most of us, again, will be dry. You'll just kind of want to be weather aware. We're not right now anticipating severe weather, but it's going to be awfully warm for this early in the season. Now, we'll be at 63 for Friday night. Saturday, most of Saturday looks dry, but again, late Saturday night, we're subject to getting a storm in here. And once that rain comes in, into early Sunday morning, it's with us through most of the day, on and off through Sunday, right on through Monday. That's going to be a tough window, especially trying to head back to work and school come Monday. That'll be a tough go out there. All right, we'll continue to update you as we get to both of these events, but right now the main rain events look to be Thursday, the first half of the day, and then looking at Saturday night late into Sunday, Monday. Those are the two big ones right there. The rest is just very isolated and far and few in between. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night. Hey, we've almost got Monday over with. We're going to make it now. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Things will head towards the weekend before we know it. Thanks for watching West Tennessee Weather. We'll see you back in the morning for another update. Take care, everyone.
We are West Tennessee Weather Channel.